This is a RD Yamaha that I've been trying to parts up now for a while, but we've got the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride coming up next month, and I think I now have enough parts to build a bike out of. So I thought it'd be a good project and a good bike to take to that. So we'll cover the video over everything. Slight spoiler, but if you've seen the last video, you'll probably know that I didn't quite make it. But we did get the bike out somewhat successfully this show, so yeah, we'll keep going anyway. I'll just go over quickly what I've done to date. So I have had this bike for a wee while now, and I've been sort of playing around with it in the background. The original seat base was rotten, so it wouldn't have lasted any time, so I took a mould of it and made a carbon fibre one, and the same with the rear mudguard. So it was a two-piece. The original one is mainly made out of fiberglass now, so there was no point keeping it. I just went for making a new mould, made it out of one piece with carbon fibre, and I've shortened the back. I suppose it's kind of like a tail tiny, I guess. Had to make a rear light bracket because it would have fitted onto the original rear mudguard. Indicators off a bike, I think they're off a gas actually. So we've got that. I've serviced the two brakes, so the back brake's working and the front caliper's working and ready to go. Front mudguard's just off a bike, if you know what that is. I don't. I just bought it at an auto jumble somewhere. The clip-on handlebars was a good idea at the time. We'll go with them for now. The original ones were bent. They're in there somewhere. It is a UK bike, but I'm running kilometres an hour because the speedo had stopped working. I did have a quick look at it, but I just went with the kilometres one for now. They're easier to get and just a bit of quick miles while I'm riding along. Engine is missing. If you're hoping for a pristine restoration job here, apologies from the outset, but yeah, as I say, it's just a matter of getting our parts here and building a bike. I guess people would have had fun with these in the day, so why stop now, I suppose. So it would have been a 125 according to the frame number on the tax book, but I'm going to go with a 200 engine. So, well, that's because that's the engine I got parts for, to be totally honest. But yeah, I've got the engine casing and haven't split this yet, so yeah, you're going to find out at the same time as me what we're actually missing. I've got the cylinders and heads here and the side casings, which I didn't paint most of this bike, so that wasn't me. I would admit stuff that's not always great, but that one not me. The RS engine, which same, also 200 as Yamaha, same era. We'll find out what parts are interchangeable. So the first thing I want to try and tackle is getting some power. Now, literally I've just got this engine, so haven't had a chance to even look at it properly yet. So, but well, one chance to split it, see how much gunk is inside it, and get it cleaned out. See what else we need to replace, and see what else we need to try and modify. Now, I think this is probably trying to be split before because the bolts and stuff are missing the side casings, but the standard gear lever and kickstart are both welded on, so get those off before I get the side casings off. So hopefully we'll not have to replace the shafts that they're on. If we do, yeah, try and just look in the shafts and the other engine aren't great either, so yeah, try not to butcher too much, but get those off and then we can make a start and stripping it. I guess I just slide off now. Someone's done the rest of the work for me. We'll do that later. Bit of wildlife housing. So the other side. I think that used to be a Phillips head or a star head. Strip from this side, I guess. So you probably also look up the book, see how this is put together, but that would be no fun. It's going to put in, isn't it? If you're watching this, know what you're doing. Don't laugh too much. bit more brittle than I was intending, but worked. It is actually pretty clean apart from the swarth that I put into it. I just should have paid more attention to, but sure. Yeah, surely that's going to be easier not loosened, or something loosened. I do tend to just put stuff back together the way it was when I'm going along, because looking back to building it, I want to keep everything in the right place. Secondly, you either lose one thing or you lose everything. After this, filming did kind of stop and a few parts were sacrificed. You'll probably see the frustration continued with taking a mallet to the casings, but yeah, it just wasn't happening. We've now got everything split. It'll just be a matter of taking it apart, hopefully. Yeah, that's a bit swollen on the end, but it is off. And have a quick look over. It does appear to all be there. First thing, well, I knew about it anyway before I bought the engine, is a few cracks in the casing. So there's this one engine mount where under the frame, and just get this welded up before I start building the engine properly. Give it a good clean. Should probably clean the whole casing, but start off with the bits that need welded anyway. So it's actually fairly extensive. You can see we get in the camera. It's all the way back up to here, so I'm going to cut it out and then we'll fill weld it back in again and see if we can get a clamp back in. Sorry. Probably showing more skill here with the file than I am with actual welding. That's probably for good reason, but the crack is well filled in. I had it well cut out and everything's keyed well back together. Now it's just that's a cat, but that's just a file mark on the end here, so it should hold. Now have a wee bit of time because I have a lot of stuff in order and hasn't arrived yet, so I was going to just put the engine together the way it is. Need to give it a clean, and I should have done that before I welded, but I'll give it a clean now and I'll give it a quick coat. I'm just going to do it with a rattle can. It's not really a pristine bike and nothing really matches on it anyway, so casings are now painted, and more excitingly, parts have arrived today. Now they have came a lot later than what I was hoping. I've lost another weekend because I was hoping they were going to be here last week, but that's just joys of where we live. But anyway, got now 2 weeks of nights and a weekend, and I suppose we'll have the Saturday before the gentleman's ride, so yeah, pressure's on, but say exciting times, stuff to build with. I'm going to start with bearings, I suppose, put into the casings, and I'm just lift the crank here. I don't know how well it's going to come across on the video and sound, but I'm going to have to rebuild the crank, and I'll just spin this so you can hear it. There's a serious rumble on the centre bearing, so that's probably going to be the most tricky job. I do have access to a press and the gauges for balancing again, although they're not mine, so I'm going to cover that as best I can in the video. I'll probably just take a few quick shots so I'm doing it. See what happens there, if we can get it built again. And that's probably going to be the biggest problem. The rest of it will be hopefully just assembly, and that's a brave thing to say probably because there's so many things to go wrong here. Still need to do the cylinders. The heads are there. I'm going to clean them up now. They're quite groggy. In fact, none of this engine is actually from the same engine. So I'm just back from a second go at the press, and the result is the centre of my crank is still in one piece. With 7 ton of pressure, this pin came out before the centre spline came out. So it's now Saturday night, and I've got tomorrow, and then I'm working this week. So I'm going to pull, and it's not what I want to do, but I'm going to pull the RS engine apart. Hope that the crank is the same knot. So basically we're going to have to split 2 engines. With a lot less hassle than the RD engine, I have now got the RS crank out of the engine. I just split one casing off and got the crank out. The armature come off so much easier. Just come off in the normal fashion, just put a bolt in, it basically fell out. I don't know what happened to the RD engine. It's been possibly raced and heated so much, overheated, or probably more likely it didn't have cylinders on it, so just been open to element for who knows how many years. It's just corroded and seized everything together. It just seems to be a battle all the way. This was the last piece to go, but yeah, I just couldn't get it apart. But we built the engine with the RS crank. It appears to be exactly the same. Conrods are both look the same, and they both have the same codes on them. In fact, as far as the RS and RD engines go, the only difference you can really see so far is the engine number on the casing, although the casing looks the same, and the cylinders and heads are different. Yeah, as far as spare parts go, the RS seems to be a good engine to strip for it, and they're a lot cheaper to buy as well, so maybe a good bit in the future. Build the engine with an RS crank, RD casings. still waiting on the cylinders coming back for the engine, so I want to touch up this bit of paint before I put the engine in anyway. Now, it's a bit of a clue that there's been some sort of fire, which is maybe a telltale sign of the fate of the original engine. But yeah, I'll take the worst look off it and just maybe stop a bit more rust. So I'll give that a touch of red paint. Not just going to match, but take the worst off it, and not that the tank's anything pretty. The front brake is working, and well, apart from not taking the lever off, but I want to change it for Yamaha one. I had one and I painted it there when I was painting the engine, so the heat-proof front brake master cylinder. But the threads are gone in here, so I can't put the mirror on, which is the main reason for doing this. It's also somewhere around here there's a Suzuki badge on this master cylinder, so yeah, I'll take the Suzuki front master cylinder off the Yamaha. Slight technical issue at the crucial moment with memory, but engine's in anyhow. No specific issues, went on fairly straightforward thankfully. I have put the carburetors on, and I'm going to have to take the filters off again to get them set when I get the throttle cable in. I'm going to put the casing on this side with the gasket. I just set it on before, and I've already got the casing on this side. Now yes, I did do it before I put the chain on, so I'm going to take it off again or try and feed the chain through. Also, the electric's plugged in. Now the electrics did work on the bike before I took the last engine out, and the wiring is the same on this one, so hopefully they continue to work. Not long till we find out. So really just continue to build the engine up on the bike, get this casing on, get oil in the gearbox, get the oiler set, carburetors to do, and exhaust on, and I think give it a go. The day before the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride, I did get the bike running, but it just wouldn't run that I was confident on, and yeah, at this point I just made the decision that I wasn't taking this bike. We'll go on to sort of trying to sort those problems out now, but yeah, this is the point where the decision was made and the bike did make it the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. Since I got the engine started, it just won't run consistently. In fact, the right cylinder hardly runs at all, depending on the rate that you're giving it. So I started off trying the regular stuff. I cleaned out the carburetor. It was nothing in it, it cleaned it out anyway. It didn't make any difference. Played around with settings. I thought it was over oiling. I tried to turn that back a bit. Adjusted the throttle cables. I even swapped over the reed valves, and it just didn't make any difference. I then swapped the points around, which then also changed the coils, thinking it was an electrical fault. No difference, and eventually, even though they're sided, I swapped the carbs around, and again that didn't make any difference. So I went for taking the head off as a last resort, and well, unfortunately I didn't get a video of actually taking it off, but you can see a bit of residue where oil or stuff has got through. Got another set of second-hand heads. These ones look a lot better than the first one, so hopefully they'll seal better. And put them back in, took it back out for a spin, and well, lost the clutch. This turned out to be the mechanism, so that's another thing to fix before we get out on the road again. So after, we call them a lot of teething problems, I have finally got, I think, something that worked all at one time. Now, I did have it out, this is Friday, so I had it out Wednesday, and the clutch stopped working, and I was having a few issues with getting carburetors working properly, so I spent last night and today working on those. I think I've got it working. The clutch is certainly working anyway, and the Waringstown Show's on tonight, so we'll go to that. I unfortunately we lost out on the gentleman's run, but yeah, we'll see what's happening tonight with the Waringstown. bike broke down again, and despite made it home, I gave up for a minute and just went and watched the show for a while. I'll maybe pick up the rest of the Yamaha build at another video.